Yes. Good morning, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us for today's event. My name is Cassandra Perez, and I am the Director of Investor Relations with Economic Alliance, Snohomish County. We are so excited to welcome you today and to have you join us with our partners and talk about accelerating small business growth. Really quickly, I would like to ask how many of our people in attendance are growing their business? If I can get a raise of hands. Perfect. How many of our businesses are just starting out? Yes, you can also put it in the chat if you aren't comfortable raising your hand, or if you're having trouble finding that little icon. Perfect. So again, thank you for that. That's so much. It's going to be so helpful in the work that we do at Economic Alliance. We work to help small businesses throughout the county. Here in Snohomish County, we are partnering today with the Washington State Department of Commerce, as well as Startup Washington. So I am going to kick it over to my colleague and would like to introduce you to Susan Nielsen, and she will take over from here.
Well, thank you very much, and welcome to this business session today. We want to thank the Economic Alliance of Snohomish County for hosting this session today. My name is Susan Joseph Nielsen, and I'm the Small Business Programs Manager in Eastern Washington for the Washington State Department of Commerce. I'm joined today by James Davis from the Thurston County Economic Development Council, who you'll be hearing from very shortly. Today, we'll be providing details about two of our Washington State Department of Commerce small business programs, the ScaleUp Program and the Thrive Program. ScaleUp Business Training was designed to help established businesses increase profitability and spur growth, and it provides business owners and leaders with the tools to learn about their business from top to bottom, including financial education, how to read a balance sheet and P&L, marketing, talent acquisition and retention, and much more. It allows business owners to plan and work intentionally on their business rather than in the business. As a small business owner myself, I think this program is absolutely amazing. I'll be talking about the Thrive program, which is a high octane program for second stage high growth companies, and it's tailored to each business and each CEO to provide national level expert data, research, and strategies that help propel your growth further as a business owner. In partnership with the Edward Lowe Foundation, Commerce provides this program for companies who are already at the 7-figure level and have 6 to 99 employees. Any industry is eligible to participate, and if you're in a private, as long as you're a private for-profit Washington state-based business. If you're a CEO who wants to diversify and needs more data, research, and best practices in ancillary business strategies, this is the program for you. If there's a gap in your business leadership or expertise, this is a program that matches you with national level subject matter experts to work through the elements that will foster your business growth and expansion. So you'll be hearing from myself and Sabrina Jones, one of the CEOs who has been through the Thrive program, in a little while. But right now I'd like to turn this session over to James Davis.
Well, thank you, Susan. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here real quick. All right. I'm assuming you guys can all see that. All right, let's start the presentation. So as Susan mentioned earlier, Thrive deals with businesses that have hit the 7-figure mark, and the ScaleUp program deals with businesses that are on the path to 7 figures. So what is ScaleUp? ScaleUp is focused on established businesses. It is advanced business training for businesses that have been in business for about 2 years or more, and also have typically six-figure revenues. And we don't exclude those that don't meet those exact marks, but those are the ones that we see get the most benefit from this program. The ScaleUp program is based on the world-renowned Kauffman Foundation Growth Ventures curriculum, and many of you may be familiar with that. Our program is taught by experts, several who are on this call, by the way, which have decades experience in helping business scale their operations, business coaching, and are experienced in many different facets from finance to systems. The program itself goes 9 weeks. So the main ScaleUp Business Training Program starts out with an orientation, and then it has 8 modules, which are cumulative and help at the end of the program to build a strategic, actionable scale plan. We use 3 learning mediums. So we teach online. We also have live in-person or live discussions, live sessions that dive deeper into each of the topics, and also provide an opportunity for peer roundtable discussion. And then we have the study hall session, which provides direct access to the mentors and allows people to access the trainers for questions while they're on their ScaleUp journey. Additionally, we have the ScaleUp Alumni Network. So we've created a community around scalers and scaling your business. And this program is grant funded at no cost through 2022. So where did it come from? As I mentioned before, the ScaleUp Business Training Program is based on the highly respected Kauffman Foundation's growth curriculum. It evolved from the ScaleUp Business Training Program that was launched in 2016 by the Small Business Administration. And we took it up after it was canceled in 2017. The funding was canceled, and through local partnerships, we're able to continue the program and update it even recently to address the current changing business climate. These are the modules that each of the ScaleUp business training participants will go through. As I mentioned before, they're cumulative. So at each end of one of these, you're going to have components for your strategic scaling plan. And they typically address a few key plateaus, that being looking at your market strategy, figuring out your capacity, and also increasing your financial acumen. So we really want to dive into those and help people get honed in on that. The online learning environment is self-paced. So typically each month, or each week rather, there is 2.5 hours of self-paced study. It's very much like a collegiate course. So you would study the chapter in advance. During the live sessions, then you would talk about it more in depth. So these videos address each of those module topics that were in the previous slide. And we do provide both the workbooks and the worksheets that you put together as part of your action plan, and the Growth Ventures ebook is also provided. The live sessions they dive deep into the topics. So at the end of learning and kind of getting an overview of what each of those topics are, you're going to have the opportunity to talk about those with these trainers who have experience in scaling business. So it's not just theory, it goes right into practice, and the trainers themselves have experience in applying these scaling techniques. And then at the end, there is a peer roundtable discussion. So you're going to be able to hear from other business owners about their journeys through understanding finance, through creating systems, through reevaluating their market proposition. And I think that is, some of the most powerful part of ScaleUp, because, one of the things that we as business owners know is that there are some things that we're not really great at. And I want to just break it out there that most business owners are not great at finance. So, it's one of those things where people don't understand, they kind of want to put on the facade that they don't have that, or that they have the experience in that. But when you're in the live session, you get to hear other people talk about that experience, and it makes it more real, and makes you a little bit more comfortable in addressing those opportunities to scale. Additionally, we have the ScaleUp Study Hall portion, which is the third component of our ScaleUp training program. And it gives business participants the opportunity to directly interface with the ScaleUp trainers as mentors as they go along their journey in scaling their operation. This is also a benefit of the ScaleUp Alumni Network. So when you graduate by attending 6 or more sessions, you will have continued access to the study hall. So everybody starts at a different spot in their ScaleUp journey, and this will allow you to address each topic individually. The ScaleUp Alumni Network is a community of scalers that has been built to help others in your same position network, find key partners that they can help grow their business. And then also it's a set of resources that are like the study hall program, like the online learning modules, which graduates will also continue to have access to. And then also ScaleUp masterminds and guest speakers, financial panels that have been developed and are being developed actively. It is no cost to the business. This $1,599 program is currently grant funded to Washington state businesses through the end of 2022. And it's provided in partnership with the Washington State Department of Commerce, the Thurston EDC Center for Business Innovation, and the Economic Alliance of Snohomish County. The next cohorts are starting soon. Grab your phones out, snap that QR code there. That'll help get you to the website. You can also type it in, but the next cohorts start on March 9th and 10th. We offer 2 morning sessions and 1 nighttime session. And of course, my information is on the bottom there. So feel free to reach out to me directly if you have any questions on that. At this point, I'd like to go ahead and share with you the story of, I'm going to let Bill share with you his story about being a part of the ScaleUp program. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Bill Hoagland with Health Benefits Washington, a local Snohomish business, to talk a little bit about how his experience was.
Good morning. Thanks, James. Hi, I'm Bill Hoagland from Health Benefits Washington. We're your local benefits administrators. We'll set you up with a health plan that's going to work for you, along with other types of benefits that go along with that. My biggest thing that I got is I didn't have a big business background when I started up. So one thing I learned is you don't know what you don't know. And if you spend all your time working in your business, you don't have time to work on scaling up your business. And I think that was a key thing. The 8 modules that they go through, James is right, most of us don't have financial intelligence. So I think the biggest thing I got out of it is the financial intelligence to understand the spreadsheets and the data that goes along with compiling so that you know that you're ready for the strategic move. You know, for us, it was a good thing. We're going to increase our business this year by about 50%. And it's all, you know, things that I learned from this particular program. So last night I was in a class for the masterminds for elevator speech. And prior to that, they had another one that was on financial intelligence, and they bring in expert people to speak about these topics. And, you know, all the way around, it's just a great program. I'd advise any of you, whether you've been in business for 20 years or 3 months, to take the time and go through this.
Well, thank you, Bill. If you don't mind me asking, what was one of the things that was a real catalyst for the change in your business that you learned from the ScaleUp Business Training Program?
The biggest thing that I learned is that it's on you. You're the one who makes all the decisions. You're not just the manager. You're not just the lead man. You wear multiple hats, and essentially you're the firefighter that's going to put out everything that happens inside of your business.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you, Bill. I appreciate your insight, your feedback on the ScaleUp program. Again, I'm happy to take any questions that you guys have on the ScaleUp Business Training Program. I think there'll be a Q&A at the end of it. So I'll turn it back over to Susan.
Thanks, James, and thanks, William. I love the ScaleUp program format. It's taught by experts. It's an excellent conversation that you don't often get to have, and it's a really outstanding curriculum. So thank you to the Thurston EDC for managing that program. And William, I know that you have had great knowledge from being part of that particular curriculum and program. And I wanted to share my screen and show you where you can find information if you're a small business owner before we talk about Thrive as our next program. And before I introduce Sabrina, I'm going to share my screen and show you where you can find the ScaleUp program. And let's see. Can you see that right now? Everyone, can you see the My Startup 3?
It's just showing a blank screen. That's
Yep.
just, there you go.
Oh,
It's working now.
you can see it now. Okay, great. To the website, mystartup365.com. This is where you can see where you can start, learn about where you can start a program, grow a program, rebuild a program. And these are two new sections, rebuild and sell online. Under our programs tab here, you can see the ScaleUp program and see the dates that are currently available, and you can register here. It's an easy registration process. And then also our Thrive program, which we'll be talking about shortly. This is where you can learn more about our Thrive program. And then also the registration link is at the bottom down here, along with the details of the program. So I will, you can still see that, right? Yes, okay. I'm going to stop sharing and I'll introduce our Thrive CEO. And it's really my pleasure to introduce Sabrina Jones, who's the CEO of Move Her, Maids of Move Her, and Put a Cork in It. And Sabrina is a graduate of our Thrive program and also is part of our CEO Roundtable program. Both of those programs are programs that I manage for the Washington State Department of Commerce. And so I get to spend time with Sabrina and others on a monthly basis, which is a really wonderful opportunity to connect commerce with our business community statewide. So welcome, Sabrina. And we'd love to hear a little bit about your business and yourself before we talk more about Thrive.
Yeah. Thanks to everyone for having me and inviting me to participate. My name is Sabrina Jones. I am based in Spokane, Washington, so I'm not sure if we have any people on the eastern side of the state, but that would be interesting to know kind of where everybody's coming from that's on the call. Yeah, so I own Move Her. It's a moving and storage company. It's a local company. We're not affiliated with any national van line. Started that in 2010, and then also have two other businesses within Move Her. One is called Maids of Move Her, and that is move in, move out cleaning, as well as recurring cleaning services. So like maid service, where we come into homes or commercial buildings and do recurring cleaning, weekly, monthly, biweekly, etc. And then we have another business because we were so bored and needed more to do, called Put a Cork in It, and that is temperature and humidity controlled wine storage. So so nobody is ever bored here at Move Her. So that's kind of me in a quick nutshell. And it's dangerous for me to not be muted more because I tend to be a little loud. So a little nervous about that. But do you want me to go on, Susan, and start talking about my experience with Thrive? So I can do that.
I'm having a terrible time with my connection here. Apologies, everyone.
Oh, that's okay. I can just go ahead and kind of give an overview if you want me to, Susan.
Well, I just wanted to, I'm back now, I think.
Yeah, there you are.
Ooh, okay. This is part of our
Technical
broadband.
difficulties may be
Technical
experienced. Yes.
difficulties at my home. Right. So thanks for that overview of your businesses and yourself. And so let's just talk a little bit about Thrive. As I mentioned earlier, Thrive is a really high octane program for second stage businesses that are ready to grow and ready to expand. Sabrina's businesses are an example of that. And if you could provide us with some of the major highlights of your experience with the Thrive program and the engagement with the Department of Commerce.
Yeah. Yeah. So I actually went through the Thrive program in 2019. So before anybody knew the word COVID. It was great. And it was just a great opportunity, really low cost, which as a business owner, you always worry about the amount of time it's going to take you to do something and how much it's going to cost and what value you're going to get out of it. And so Thrive was just really the perfect combination for all of those things, because it didn't take a lot of my time, it didn't cost a lot of money, and I got a lot of value out of the program. And I've known Susan off and on for years, and so I really trusted her when she was telling me about the program and how much good I could get out of it with a little bit of investment of my time. And so I kind of did a little bit of research into what areas of my business I felt like I needed a little bit more help in. Because as you know, when you start a business, your hope is that it always grows, right? And it becomes really successful. Well, the problem with that, because there's always a problem, is that, maybe the people that got you there can't take you to the next level, but you can't really afford to bring somebody in, and you maybe don't have the time to do it all. And so with Thrive, it was awesome because I could say, I really want to get into this wine storage thing. Like, nobody here in Eastern Washington offers temperature and humidity controlled wine storage, but I didn't have the time to look into it. And I didn't have anybody on staff that had that kind of expertise. And so that was just one piece of Thrive, that I was connected to somebody that was their focus, right? Is that they were doing the research on wine storage, and they just took it so much further than I ever could have, and gave me a great framework to grow, to start and grow that division of my business. So that was just one piece of it. I don't want to go too far. I could just keep talking.
Well, it's great to mention that, because part of the value of the Thrive program is that you are connected to subject matter experts on the national level who have access to all the tools that are necessary, because they do this work every day, all day, as their area of supreme expertise. And so through the connection with the Edward Lowe Foundation, these teams of experts come together to address your business strategies that you're looking to grow. So you had a whole team of people working with you.
Yeah, it was nice because I had a wonderful team leader who I'm still connected with on LinkedIn, and we stay in touch. And she was able to, to organize the subject matter experts and set up times that would work for me to hear their presentations and get all of that information. And so, really, all in all, it was probably 15 to 20 hours or so of my time overall. And for what I got out of it, it was more than worth it. So.
Well, and the nice part about Thrive is that you don't have to leave your office and you're able to access the information that's presented to you in a greenhouse that you can share with the rest of your team. And I know that your business partner, Jerry, you and he discussed the sessions because you were present, and then you could share that information with Jerry as well, because the information is available to you online.
Right. And then I also have a, for lack of a better word, sort of a business consultant who helped me with my financial literacy years ago, back in 2013, when I thought I might have a good idea here, but I'm not sure I'm doing it right. So coming back to that financial piece. And so he put himself on our board of directors. So he created a board of directors for us. And I was able to invite him because he lived down in Southern California. And so he was able to participate in all of those. And again, this is pre-COVID, before this was a normal way that we all met. But he was able to go into the greenhouse, which, basically, and just look over the documents. And it was just a great way to stay informed and to ask each other questions. And yeah, it was wonderful. Yeah.
Were there growth successes that you might not have pursued had you not gone through the Thrive program, Sabrina?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, for sure, put a cork in it because that was, the maids division kind of makes sense because people move out, they need cleaning, right? It kind of goes together, but wine storage is a little kind of pushing it. But yeah, had it not been for the person that got me all of the information and contacts and marketing strategies, I don't think I would have pursued that. And, that has brought in over 12% of our revenue. So in its first year, which was pretty amazing. So, and it just continues to grow.
And your business has changed as a result of COVID, as a result of a lot of things. You've expanded into other areas geographically. Do you want to describe a bit of that and how?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So we do residential and commercial moving. And because of our commercial moving, we had an opportunity to expand over into Western Washington and help out pretty significantly with it's a company over there. I don't know if you guys have heard of it, Microsoft. I don't know. Anyhow, so that's going to be, I hope will be a great opportunity for us. And also just a great employment opportunity for people on that side of the state. And we'll see where that growth goes as well. So yeah, it's exciting times for sure.
And you're also part of our CEO Roundtable, which is an adjunct, an add-on as part of the Thrive ecosystem and the ScaleUp, where you start at ScaleUp and move into Thrive, and then a CEO Roundtable. And it's my pleasure to facilitate that conversation every month with 11 CEOs. But if you want to talk a little bit about that, just as a companion piece to Thrive, which you all have in common.
Yeah. The CEO Roundtable has been great. We've been doing it since June or July of last year, I think.
Last year, yes.
Yeah. And it's just, we meet once a month over Zoom. And because again, we're from all over the state of Washington, so it would be physically difficult for all of us to meet. And it's a 2 to 3 hour phone call a month. And it's all confidential. Susan will get mad at us if there's anybody else in the room. So she'll call us out. But it's a great opportunity to just, talk to other CEOs that get it, right? Like sometimes you feel like you're the meanest person in the world, or that, I don't know. So it's just nice to commiserate. It's great to get other ideas, other suggestions from people who have been through it and understand. And it's just more valuable friendships, I guess, if you want to call them that. And these are people I didn't know, of course, through Thrive, because Thrive was very independent to me. And I look forward to it every month, and we have an opportunity to submit questions that are things that, we may be going through and are looking for some feedback. So it's real practical. It's real practical.
Well, it is a great opportunity for peer-to-peer conversation. And I think that that's one of the things that business owners, the ScaleUp program offers the same environment where you can talk to peers who are experiencing same challenges that you have And James, I don't know if you want to pipe in on that, or William, related to that peer-to-peer opportunity, which you rarely get as independent business owners.
You know, I'll just touch on that, and then I'll let Bill as well. The biggest thing that I see business owners doing is that it's often a very lonely world as an entrepreneur. There are many things that you have to do by yourself. You know, you get out there and you network and you make sales, but that's not really the type of decompression, the type of camaraderie that you need sometimes. And through the ScaleUp program, through the alumni network, and many of the commerce programs, you're able to meet those other business owners that are having the same problems as you. And you're able to commiserate and say, oh, you did this. Okay, well, maybe I can do this. And I think there's a lot of value in that. That's I mean, the CEO roundtables, that's a great example of that as well. So for sure. Bill, did you want to add to that?
Yeah, I think that the breakout rooms that you utilize, being topic specific, really give you an opportunity to have a different outlook on how things could be. Someone else can help you solve your problem, and they may not actually even be in the same industry that you are. And the same thing with the study halls. And I don't really know that I would consider them to be muddy study halls. I think they're more of a learning session, I guess you could say, because you're a roundtable session, learning session, because it's a lot like what they were talking about, the CEO calls, is that you all have familiar things in common that you're going through at the same time.
Yeah, for sure. And I think
very valuable. Yeah. Well, Sabrina, there's so much more to your business, and Bill, to your business, that, you know, people, obviously being a business owner is very complex, and as James said, sometimes it feels like you're just out there by yourself. And the economic development organizations and the Department of Commerce, we want to help small businesses in any way that we can. These are a few of the programs that we offer, but there's a lot more on our websites, both on the Snohomish County website, on the Thurston County website, on the Commerce website. Sabrina, is there anything that you would like to say, or to the other business owners that are on the call right now, related to partnering with Commerce and partnering with your economic development organizations in your own communities?
Yeah, sure. I was just going to say that, you know, I never owned a business until I started Move Her. And if you know, I'm a firm believer that if you really believe in what you're doing, that you can make it happen, but not to get dejected with the hurdles that you come across, that those are good things, and to reach out to the EDCs and the Department of Commerce, because they are really low cost but highly effective resources for all of us as small businesses, and they are here to help. You know, you have to put in a little bit of time, but it's also not much money, and it's so worth it. So if you're having some issues or just not sure where to go, I would really encourage you to reach out, you know, to them, because it's worth it for sure.
Well, and Bill, how about you? Did you want to say anything about that topic as well?
I would just have to, you know, agree with what Sabrina just said, that there is an importance for all those things.
If there's any questions that we can answer as representatives of our organizations, and Sabrina and Bill, that the participants in today's session have, we'd be happy to answer those at this time, or share some more information about specific programs that either the Thurston County EDC or Snohomish County EDC might be able to provide to you.
Susan, I have a quick question that came up on chat that I wanted to kind of ask really quick for one of our participants. Michael was asking. He wanted to know if ScaleUp or Thrive, do you help them to launch small businesses for startups, similar to what Ventures does? How does it compare?
for the Thrive program, you need to be an established business and have at least 2 to 3 years of revenue that exceeds 7 figures or $1 million and have between 6 and 99 employees to really benefit the most from the program. There are some circumstances where if you're on track to achieve that you would be a good fit for the program as well. But the application itself has the previous 2 years, the current year, and a projection for the next 2 years of your revenue and your growth aspirations, and then also asks you to identify 2 to 3 business areas that you want to address during the engagement. So that's the Thrive portion of it. There are programs available through the Micro Business Association that we can make available, and I can put that into the chat box. And then I'm sure the Economic Alliance of Snohomish County, as well as Thurston County EDC, have specific programs for startups.
Excellent. Thank you, Susan. We have an additional question. With a startup and Thrive, what are the biggest benefits of the 10,000-foot level? Is it education, networking, mentorship, access to any grant programs?
James, do you want to start on that one?
Yeah, certainly. The ScaleUp program does touch on several of those. I think the biggest takeaways from the ScaleUp program, not only the education and the peer roundtable discussions, so you get the networking in there as well, but the ongoing support. If you graduate the program, you have access perpetually to the online learning modules and the study hall sessions, and you have access to take the program again. So if you take it during this grant funded time, you'll still have access to do all of that without having to pay anything additional. And that comes with all that mentorship to help get you to that next level. The other cool thing about it is, as I mentioned earlier, the worksheets are cumulative, and so when you graduate the program, after you complete those scaling modules, you will have something you can present to funders for seeking funding. You'll have something that can be utilized as part of your exit strategy. So when you go to sell your business, the person buying your business has all the systems and operations in place. And I think one of the really cool things is that when you actually scale your business, you'll find that you're working more like 10 to 15 hours in your business each week rather than 60 hours each week. And that is the point, right? It's to own a set of businesses, systems that make you money rather than having you own your job. So I think that's the 10,000 square foot or 10,000 foot evaluation of the ScaleUp program.
Excellent. Thank you, James. One real quick question. You had mentioned your program takes 9 weeks to participate in ScaleUp. Susan, that we have a question on chat asking about what is the time investment for Thrive?
Well, Sabrina talked about the CEO investment of time, that there's another 40 hours of time that the team that's working with the CEOs creates for the data and the research and the back end presentation components of working with the issues that you've identified you want to grow your business in. And the time frame is really customized for each CEO's availability. So what we try to do with each of those engagements is not impact the CEO's time any more than necessary. So Sabrina probably can share that she had to maybe change a few of her meeting dates, and that's really, it's very customizable, but it could take anywhere from 3 months to 9 months, depending on the complexity of the business situation that you're addressing and your availability. And again, that's entirely customizable, but I'll let Sabrina talk about the flexibility of the program.
Yeah, sure. Like I said earlier, it was, I mean, I was kind of more around the 3 month, 3 to 6 month timeline total, because I had a pretty good idea of the areas I needed help and expertise and guidance in. So, and yeah, other than just having to reschedule some meetings with the subject area experts, it was pretty flawless and pretty easy to customize to what worked best for me. And my personal time, like I said earlier, was like 15 to 20 hours, somewhere in there total. So
I hope that answered the question. I would be remiss if I didn't talk about the investment on the part of our businesses in the program. So Sabrina mentioned it was very affordable, and it is. The Department of Commerce partners with the cost of the program overall. And when I pulled up the website before, it breaks down the cost, but the business owner's commitment is $3,000, and Commerce pays for the first 2 portions of that engagement to help introduce you to your team and identify and really solidify the areas that you want to tackle with the data and the research that the subject matter experts are providing. And then there's a 30, 60, 90-day follow-up portion that Commerce also underwrites, so that there's no cost to that. And currently the CEO Roundtable, because we're piloting the program, there is no cost to that. So for businesses that enroll in the program and are accepted and complete the engagement, there's a real benefit to the next pieces of that. So the business investment is $3,000. Are there some other questions we can answer?
Sure, I will go ahead and, so James has been responding on chat. Thank you so much for that. We love it when people engage and ask your questions because it makes this more fun and more informative. Janet Toth from SBDC, one of our partners, is asking if there's a maximum number of participants for the program or a minimum in order for the program to run.
I can address ScaleUp first. The ScaleUp program, typically we won't run a program unless it has at least 25 participants, and we try to keep it under 60 participants. So generally speaking, we found that there are a mix of different businesses, different engagement on the program. So, so we'll have some people that will watch the program, engage in the background, and then there's other people that will be vocal during the session itself. Don't worry, everybody gets a chance to speak in the breakout sessions. But generally speaking, to answer your question about the total number of businesses in the program, 25 to 60 is typically the sweet spot.
Could I go back and answer? I know that in the chat, someone was asking about the 10,000 foot level education, networking, mentorship. Some of the business issues that are brought forward include how to access grants or government contracting. And our subject matter experts work together with the business owner to get into government contracting through the PTAC organization, or they might be interested in exporting. So we connect them to our export team at the Department of Commerce. They might be eligible for an accelerator grant project. One of the CEOs in our Thrive program was able to be part of the Maritime Blue Accelerator program, the first cohort, with connections that were made. So there's all sorts of connections within commerce and then outside of commerce that we can help navigate for CEOs and business owners. The same is true for ScaleUp, to be able to navigate whatever the business need is. We can connect you with the right resources within our own organizations or within other organizations that can be helpful. And as far as the number of businesses that could participate, we have funding for another 15 businesses to participate in the Thrive program between now and the end of June. So they would just need to start the program by the 1st of June. So they would be at that third engagement meeting point by the end of June. And then we're confident that we'll get additional funding to renew the program in the next year and beyond. We've had the program for 5 years. So we're confident that we'll have funding to continue the program. But if you're interested and you're eligible with the criteria, I would encourage you to apply and fill out the application to get started now. Hopefully that answers those questions for you.
Thank you, Susan. We also had another question. Connie says, we've been in business for 2 years and are reaching the 6-figure mark. Is there a program that's the right fit for us?
So Connie, the ScaleUp program really is based on experience. The whole reason why we have the 2-year, 6-figure guidance is that it's kind of like when you're in college, right? You wouldn't take physics 304 before physics 101. This program, it really deals with the marketing and the finance and the systems for an established business versus the ones that entirely different systems that you would see for startups. So if you've been in business for a little bit, then this may be the place for you. So yeah, hope that I would encourage you to look over the program and definitely if you have any questions, we can talk directly on it. I also saw that there was a question from Shannon Bradshaw above that as well. How many employees do you need in order to join ScaleUp? You don't have to have any employees right now. Now, when you go through the program, you're going to see the value of employees and contracting out work that just isn't serving you as a business owner. This is often why business owners will spend 60 hours a week in their business because they're doing work that is working in their business versus working on their business. So you should be open to hiring employees because at the end of the program, you're going to see a lot of the value of doing so. But as a minimum, there's no minimum. A lot of people come in to the program with no employees and leave the program with employees. So yeah, that's hopefully that answers your question, Shannon.
Thank you so much. I think Susan made a great point that there are additional programs available through your local economic development organization here in Snohomish County. That is us at Economic Alliance. And I do see some of our business partners on the call today. So I'm going to take a quick moment and I'm going to put you on the spot. If you could introduce yourselves and then give 30 seconds about what it is that you do. I see Lisa Lagstrom from PTAC. Oh, we're muted, Lisa.
I just asked her to unmute.
Okay, now I can talk, and I love to talk. If you guys don't know that about me. So hello, Procurement Technical Assistance Centers. Who are we? How many of you know? Raise a hand. I know some of you do. I like that. I like to see that. All right. What we do is we help businesses understand how to get ready to sell to government. And that might be your local, your state, or your federal. I see PTAC as trainers, connectors, and navigators. If I can say that in my 30-second pitch, if you're interested in understanding how to sell to government, get a hold of your PTAC reps. All right. Thank you, Annette, for giving us that shout out. Who's next?
Thanks, Lisa. Lisa, if you could also drop your contact information in the chat, I think that would be great. Okay. Can I have Janet from SBDC please introduce herself?
I think I'm free to talk now. Hi there, everyone. Yes, I'm going to ask the same question. How many of you are aware of the Small Business Development Center? Raise hands, kind of, hey. We are the best kept secret in economic development, apparently, out there. Quick 30 seconds. I'm trying to. We work with businesses of all sizes, up to 500 employees, we'll say, all ages of businesses, from startup through to succession. We're in it to win it with them. We cover all aspects of business issues. We work with for-profit businesses that are federally legal. And we work with those who, in this particular, we work with those who are looking for growth, and that growth will be employees, product or services, market, facility, and equipment. So kind of the whole gamut. I find this very interesting. I did not know all about Thrive and Startup. So I look for you as to be our partner in, especially Snohomish County, in that we as SBDC could help folks prepare for your programs to be better able to take in that information. And then we are there long after that situation happens. So I'm excited about that. I did not know that we could coordinate and do that. So I'm looking forward to working with you.
We have a wonderful and deep partnership with SBDC advisors statewide, and we're deepening that. You are an amazing resource. Mike Gonzalez, for instance, asked about startup programs, and he's in the Tridec area in Benton and Franklin County, I believe, Mike, right? And, you know, the SBDC advisors aren't, some of them are geographically located, but Janet, he could tap into any resource in the SBDC network to connect businesses in Benton and Franklin County if there's not already an advisor there.
Yes, all he has to do is connect with one of us, and we'll make sure he is connected to the correct person in his area.
Thank you, Janet. Janet also has her partner, Giselle. If you choose, please drop your contact information in the chat for our attendees. That would be great. I would also like to call on Angie Sievers. I'm so sorry. She is with Nahomish STEM. Angie, talk to us about our programs and internship opportunities.
Thank you, Cassandra. I'm Angie Sievers, and I'm at Snohomish STEM Network in partnership with Economic Alliance Snohomish County. We work with our local school districts and higher education, so our community technical colleges and four-year, to align the classes and programs that students are taking with business need. So there is opportunity for some of you as you're growing and thriving to host interns, and then ideally, if it's a good fit, you hire them. And so we support and help with that matchmaking. There's a number of partners here on this call too, that do some of this work. So it's a community effort, and it's fun work. It is a bit of an effort on the employer's part, on the students as well, but it's a place to source talent and also make connections with our higher education for future talent pipeline. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Sabrina, did you have a question, or were we answering one of those do you know us questions?
I was answering one of the questions. Thanks, though.
No, of course. Thank you, Carol, for joining us today. Did anybody else have any quick questions before we close out today's program? And I just want to make sure I see Alex Alvarez. Did you have a question, or were you also answering one of those partner questions? Thank you. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for the great conversation. I am going to kick it back to Susan and her team for any closing remarks.
James, do you want to go first, and I'll close out with all of our commerce information?
Certainly. I just wanted to remind everybody, the next cohorts of ScaleUp are coming up here soon. So March 9th in the mornings from 8:30 to 10, March 10th from 8:30 to 10, and March 10th from 6 to 7:30 at night. So we have cohort options that are in convenient time slots. If you're interested, please reach out to me directly. My contact information will be in the chat. And it was really great to be here and present with you guys. And thank you so much, Bill, for joining us today to talk about the ScaleUp program.
And I just want to encourage anyone that has questions to contact me directly. I can connect you with our commerce resources or any of our economic development organizations statewide, no matter where you're located. I can connect you to someone locally that can assist you. And also any of our partners like the SBDC, PTAC, and other organizations. And I know that people have put information about their organizations into the chat as well. So I encourage you to look through the other professionals who are on our call today, as well. And then Sabrina, you are always amazing. She's a tremendous advocate for our Thrive program and our CEO Roundtable. Is there anything you'd like to add before we close today?
I don't think so. I appreciate the opportunity to share and happy to provide any further information if people need it or any guidance or whatever, but really encourage you guys to check out either ScaleUp or Thrive, depending on where you're at. And if you're not a fit in one of them, I'm sure they'll refer you to somewhere else. So thanks again.
Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. And thank you to our panelists for talking to us today about their programs. We really appreciate you joining us today. As always, please feel free to reach out to your local economic development organization. Over here in Economic Alliance, I can say we have a wealth of resources, and we are also ready to help you and point you in the right direction to help make sure that your business is growing and thriving. So that's it for us. Thank you, everybody, for your work today.
Thank you.